All right, hey guys, I'm James Rauman. We're here at Riot Studios. I'm really impressed with everything that Riot's doing, but we have Brandon Beck. I'm really excited here. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right, so right off the bat, you talked about how you guys are just huge fans of the game, and that's what this is. It's about passion for the game. Everyone here, you had this huge presentation about how everyone is going above and beyond just because they're so passionate about what they do. Can you go a little bit more into that?
Yeah, I mean, I think to really make something great, you have to be passionate about it. So, I mean, it comes down to even hiring criteria. Like when people are joining Riot Games, there's two things we look for. One is just their aptitude, their talent, and then the other thing is their passion. And we care way more about those two things than their experience, for example, because we think that you have to love what you do, you have to love the game, you have to understand the game too, because it's easy to come in having been a really experienced artist or really experienced game designer, but have no comprehension for how League of Legends is so different from a lot of conventional games, or where a lot of conventional wisdom breaks down.
I just think it's incredible. When you said talent, my first thought was that when we had the tour, they were saying right when people come in, they set them down at a computer. They say, all right, you're playing some League of Legends. How good are you? And we're going to train you up. So I just, that alongside talent. But how much do you get to play, actually? Because I know you're a huge fan of the game. I mean, as one of the creators, obviously.
Well, to your other point, it's cheesy, okay, but we have something called denubification, and everyone who joins the company goes through it. And a lot of people join the company and they're already pros and they sort of don't need to be exposed to details. But if you're not a pro at the game, and I don't mean pro skill cap wise, I mean comfortable, know all the champions, know what it's all about. And if you're not there yet, we got to get you there. You got to focus on it. You spend your first. If you're a writer and you're coming and you're writing stories for the characters, well, you better know what the character's all about. In terms of me, I mean, look, I'm not a pro. You're on my buddy list. I know you're sitting at 2100 elo, something like that. I'm not in your stratosphere, but I do play all the time. It's not helping my elo, but it's but yeah, I play pretty much every night.
You don't have anywhere near as much free time as me or any of the other people who have played as much as we can, obviously, but I was kind of wondering, League of Legends, it started off and you're trying to build up a game. Esports, it kind of took you guys by surprise. League of Legends is one of the most successful games ever. What was your first thoughts when you were shit, this is a competitive game, everyone's getting really into this, you yourself are getting into it?
I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. As a game developer, you never can anticipate this level of success. You see all the flaws in your product all the time, and when people appreciate it and come out, you think they're just being polite to you. You think they're just kind of telling you what you want to hear, so it's hard for us to sort of resonate with how well the game has been doing, and it's the ultimate compliment. I mean, it is the best feeling in the world to see players enthusiastic about the product. And what you guys are here for, the World Finals coming up tomorrow, that is a dream come true for us. We've always wanted esports to be at that scale, but we never even believed that would be possible. And I remember one day we were in a team meeting and we just got the results from a survey back, and we'd ask players if they enjoy watching the game in addition to playing it. And the number was something like 70% of players enjoyed watching it. We're no way, that has to be wrong. Right? We enjoy watching it, but that's what we do. We make games. There's no way 70%. And in fact, that was an accurate number. And then it was validated by the viewership numbers for our first tournament. We're holy crap. Green light for going apeshit on making phenomenal on building a phenomenal esports experience, and that's been so much fun to just run with.
One of the really incredible things that Riot's done as a company is how outgoing they are with the community. You guys have faced a number of issues because it's just absolutely exploded as a game. And every new event, every new game design, it brings up new issues. But you're always very active in the community and trying to be vocal with your player base. What is that kind of philosophy that you guys come in as a company to be, part of the community?
We think it's incredibly important to be connected to the players. It has to guide everything we do. Every decision that we make has to start with the player philosophy, and then we sort of work backwards from there. And we don't always get it right, but the closer we are with the community, the more we'll understand it. Like some of my favorite moments are meeting players, up close and personal at the trade shows that we're at, the esports events that we're at. We've had so many phenomenal experiences getting to know our players, and I think that's invaluable. I mean, it's a phenomenal resource for us as developers to get that kind of feedback.
Okay, so coming forward, you guys have made serious strides, and just having your first two events, PAX NA Regionals and then the World Championships. What is Riot's plans? Like, what are your thoughts coming into Season 3 and then beyond? Where do you want to see this game continue to go?
I think it's sort of already beyond what our sort of goals and expectations were, and so we're just wrapping our head around that, and we're so excited. We're so excited that we get to throw these finals in a sports arena, that we got to build the biggest stage that LA Live has ever had, and have phenomenal amount of viewers. So we're excited that we can justify investing the commitment and the time and the effort into this, because the players are sort of voting by tuning in and enjoying the experience. So it gets to be one of the sort of, we view esports as this feature that we get to prioritize along with other key features, and that's exciting. It's not, and so in terms of how it's going to evolve, we're gonna just sort of go with it and see. We're gonna take a ton of risks. We're gonna jump into the deep end. We're kind of doing that, and we're learning how to swim, and yeah, I think there's a really bright future and a lot of possibilities.
You guys, you had said in the presentation that you guys are USC alumni. Is that correct? Okay, so do you want to see League of Legends rivaling the football team? Start getting some funding going for that?
Yes, we want to see them rivaling the football team, but we'd prefer that we don't get 3 years of BCS sanctions. That was rough. Yeah, I mean, we want the sport to be big and awesome, but I want to make one distinction clear. Like, we're not trying to make this a mainstream sport. A lot of people ask us, hey guys, is our esports going to become as big as football or soccer or baseball? And I don't know. I mean, that's going to be really up to the players to decide. But that's not a specific goal. But the goal is to deliver a great experience for the already large community that really cares about it. So that's the focus. The goal isn't to make esports as mass market or big as possible. I think that's kind of just trying to force it, and it has to happen organically.
So whenever you guys face these issues, I mean, it's clear that everyone is so 100% into this and 100% into esports and everything. Whenever there are any setbacks or fallings, how do you guys deal with it as a team? What are the communications that go on, and I don't know, emotionally, how do you guys handle it?
Setbacks happen and they suck. And whenever we let down players, it sucks. And the team takes it to heart, and sort of the key is to try to not get our daubers down and get our shoulders down and that kind of thing. It's just to sort of try to bounce back from it and focus on getting it right the next time. So we make mistakes, right? As you heard me say in the talk a little bit earlier, making mistakes is kind of part of our culture, because we feel like if we get to a point where we're not making mistakes, we're spending too much time covering our butts, and we're not moving fast enough, or we're not taking enough risks. But the key is to not make the same mistake twice, and to learn from our mistakes, and to constantly strive to get better. And so that's sort of our philosophy.
Okay, so as an esports fan, do you have any favorite teams, or are you just looking for a good match?
I like all teams equally. And
NA?
No, I if I had a favorite team, I can't really have a favorite team. I'm a fan of great games. And I mean, I can tell you, I've been amazed at the performance of so many different teams during this tournament and past tournaments. I particularly like the teams that have really aggressive play styles, but really innovative play styles. But I think it's fun to watch. I also like the teams. I like when teams are classy as well. I think the sport could use more sportsmanship, and there's a bunch of players in our league that do accept defeat really gracefully, or even graceful in victory, and I think that's cool.
All right, so one last question. Who wins in a fight, Rise or Tryndamere?
You want me to be honest? Tryndamere, man. Tryndamere's...
No!
Are we talking about me, Rise?
Yeah, you personally.
Yeah, dude. I got some feistiness, but have you seen Mark Merrill? Come on, he's gonna kick my ass.
All right, thank you. So excited. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Check out all the rest of our interviews. We're honestly really impressed with Riot. I'm just absolutely giddy here as a fan of the game. So stay tuned. Check out the rest of it on youtube.com/IPLLOL.